Alright, what's up guys? Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about what in my opinion is probably the best ultra wide lens you can get for the APS-C system, like the Sony E-mount or even Fuji's is available on the Fuji cameras as well. This is the Tamron 11-20 f2.8 lens. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so let's talk about this lens, the Tamron 11-20 f2.8. This basically is going to give you on a crop censored camera. I guess I should put my seatbelt on, shouldn't I? So it's going to give you about a 16-ish millimeter at the wide end, and it's going to give you about a 30 millimeter at the tightest focal length. So hold on, there we go. So yeah, it's going to give you that kind of similar, almost like a 16-35 would, or 15-35 on the Canon RF system, something like that. It's going to give you that standard ultra wide zoom that everyone loves to have. So yeah, that's one positive about this lens. That was the first lens I actually bought when I got the Sony FX30. So I love my ultra wide zooms. I've had them pretty much in every camera system I've had. So yeah, it's definitely a great lens. And yeah. Alright, so let's talk about some of the pros of this lens. It is small, it is light, it is very portable. I've had Canon 16-35 Mark II. I've had the RF 15-35 a couple times. I've had the Tamron 17-28 also when I had the Sony A7S III. That one was not very big, but comparing to those other two, the 16-35 Mark II and the 15-35 RF lens, those were massive lenses. Now don't get me wrong, the 15-35 is still my all-time favorite lens. I love that lens. That's the GOAT in my opinion when it comes to ultra wide zoom lenses. That's just my humble opinion. Feel free to disagree with me, I don't care, but that's a conversation for another day. So but what I do like about this lens, like I said, it is small, it is light, it is very portable, and when I shoot these type of videos, it's a lot nicer having a smaller rig compared to when I had the R6 or the EOS R and I was shooting with either the 16-35 Mark II with the adapter to go on, because there's an EF lens going on to the RF system, or the 15-35. Those are very heavy rigs. This is, the FX30. I don't have the cage on it, I just have my Rode Video Mic Pro on it, and this 11-20 lens. So the size, the weight, that's pretty unbeatable right now. So let's talk about another pro for this lens. You get the constant f2.8 aperture throughout the focal length of this lens. Now Sony does have a couple APS-C wide angle zoom lenses. Both those are f4 versions, so you're going to get the faster aperture with this. Now you can get into the argument about f2.8, is it really f2.8 on a crop sensor versus full frame? I'm not going to do that right now, but you do get the faster aperture on this compared to the Sonys. Now Sony does have an 11 millimeter f1.8, but that is only a prime lens, so that is, you are getting the zoom with this. The other ones is a little bit faster, but it's also gonna be a little bit smaller, but I prefer that when I have a wide angle, I want to have the zoom version. Now Sigma does have, I believe it's a 10 or 11-18 f2.8. It is a little bit smaller than this. Don't know much about that lens. It sounds like it might be a good option. I just preferred the Tamron over the Sigma, just because even though I said earlier the size being small was a pro, I didn't want it to be super small. So yeah, that is kind of why I went with the Tamron. Alright, so now we've talked about a couple pros, let's talk about a couple cons. This lens build quality is, I don't know, not, I don't know really how to say it. It's not that great. It's it's got a very plastic feel to it when I'm comparing it to the 15-35 or the 16-35. The build quality doesn't even match up. It's a budget lens. You're getting this thing for about $500-600, I think $700 at the most, brand new. So it's, you know, you're not paying for a premium lens, so you can't expect it to be, you know, super premium, super high quality build, no weather sealing, no stabilization. So those are some, you know, drawbacks that you're going to get with this lens. The build quality is not grade A, so that's something to think about. All right, so let's talk about the final con for this lens. And it's not going to be the same thing as I said about the 15-35 in my review of that one, that when you are at the widest focal length, the end kind of pokes out. I think that's very common amongst a lot of zoom lenses, or wide angle zoom lenses like this. I know there's some that have the internal zoom, but I noticed that as kind of a common thing. But no, not that. I don't know if you can see it, you know, right here in the corners or not, but there, and when you put it at the widest length at 11 mil, there can be a little bit of vignetting. I've noticed that on some of my shots when I go all the way to 11 mil. Again, I don't know if you guys can see it right now in the shot or not, but yeah, there can be some vignetting at the widest focal length. So I tend to kind of, you know, leave it like maybe just a little bit above 11, like maybe, I don't know, close to 12, I guess, to kind of avoid that vignetting, or just crop it in a little bit in post to get rid of it. But that is definitely a con. If that's something that bothers you, you're not going to like that part of this lens. All right, so that is the end of this video. I definitely recommend this lens if you are on the Sony E-mount APS-C system, or if you have a Fuji APS-C camera and you're looking for that ultra wide zoom lens. Like I said, 11-20 gives you close to that 16-35 full frame equivalent. Canon RF does not have this as of yet. You know, they're just barely now starting to allow third-party manufacturers to produce lenses, but they still haven't launched any from what I understand. So you can't get this with the Canon RF mount. And I'm not sure about Nikon, so I can't really say if the Nikon APS-Cs have this or not. I don't know, but I definitely know obviously the Sony E-mount and the Fuji have this as an option. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you guys got some use out of it, and I will see you guys next time I make a video.